Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicole Oman.
And I am Ryan Oman.
And together we are the Empowering Omens
with the Golden Collective.
And today is Spirit Sunday.
Yes.
And it is our final week of this chakra journey.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been with us, this is the culmination or the end of this cycle.
Yes.
And for us, it's been a massive ascension process. And we've been really doing the work and healing and really evolving and maturing in our own lives in our own right.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to come to a state of completion this week. Yay. So work with us, finish up with us. Even if you have been kind of in and out, I would say finish up, finish strong, because that end of the ladder is where we really begin to rebirth and assimilate into our new selves.
Yeah, Nikki, actually, if you see the little chakra paintings we have up here, that was Nikki's handiwork. She felt inspired. I don't know why she felt inspired to do chakra paintings. Oh, maybe it's because we've been spending 7 weeks working on the chakras. Well, Nikki's a really good indicator with this ending process because it's not her strong suit. Nikki's fabulous at beginning things. She's 100% in the middle.
I'm a visionary, man.
But when it comes to the last 10%, she tends to really struggle. It's like she doesn't want to complete anything. So this is a big week for her, I know. And it's a big week for me, especially because we are coming into the end of essentially my beginning. I'm starting to do this work with Nikki, these videos that she's been doing for 5 years now. And this is my beginning. So it's the end of my beginning and kind of my
initiation.
Initiation, yeah, it's a perfect word. Initiation into this process. So we've got a lot of wonderful things that we've been working on and working through and building and creating, and it's all culminating with our workshop, which is going to be around this time next week. We're going to be going to Michigan next Sunday. We'll start our drive, and the workshop will take place that Thursday. So we won't be doing the chakra videos after this week, but we will be posting some stuff from the retreat, and of course there will be more stuff to come after the retreat.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out and decide what we want to birth. This is definitely our own birthing process here, and these videos felt very personal to us. So those of you that have been on this journey, thank you for really holding space for both of us to learn how to work together.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, I've been doing these videos for a long time, and I hit resistance once in a while externally, but I find that we have hit more resistance working together through external sources and even through our own, like, oh my God, what are we doing, blah, blah, blah. And what I'm starting to really realize is in our own lives and in the collective consciousness in general, we have a very hard time being empowered as equals, as the masculine and the feminine. And we've talked a lot about how the feminine has been suppressed on this planet, and the planet has been suppressed. And because of that, the masculine energy gets such a bad rap.
Yeah, we pendulum swung a little bit. I know I've got some divine masculine friends out there, hi Eddie, who definitely have experienced this, where the masculine archetype has been so
villainized?
Well, villainized, but in their own right. They've done things to become villains, right? And so because of that process, we've really pushed hard into the femininity and really said masculine is bad instead of finding our balance in the middle. But that's human nature, right? When we experience we've gotten too far one direction, then we fly back the other direction, and then we fly back again, and then we fly back and fly back and fly, and eventually we find our balance in the middle. But I'll tell you an interesting story. A friend of mine who I just mentioned, he actually was opening a door for a woman in Los Angeles, and the woman was beside herself, upset that he had opened the door for her, and complained that he had taken away her power by opening the door for her, and what he viewed as being, polite, or to a lesser degree, chivalrous. And she just attacked him and said that you're taking my power away, and I don't need a man to open a door for me. And I think this is a cool little microcosm of where we are as a society right now. And it's like, no, you don't need a man to open a door for you. Absolutely not. Who does? But if we want to get along and we want to be friendly and we don't want chivalry to be dead, then we need to allow that masculine to do what it does best. We are providers by nature. We are builders, we are fixers, we are doers,
Protectors.
we are protectors, and we're being forced out of our role. And I even saw, we were watching one of my favorite shows, which is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and there was a comedian on there with Jerry Seinfeld who had grown out his beard. And Jerry was like, why do you grow a beard? I don't get the whole beard thing. And he said, it's the last masculine holdout. It's the one thing that men can do that women can't do. They can't grow a beard. So men are growing beards. They're holding on to that last fiber of masculinity. And I think that going into this week of giving birth to the divine masculine, which we'll get into a little bit further, we can hopefully start getting that pendulum to swing back to the middle. And I'm not asking by any means for men to take over again. We've already proven we're not good at driving by ourselves. We need help. And so I think finding that balance with divine masculine and divine feminine is the key.
And that's exactly where I want to go, because last night, I've been having a really interesting birth process during this time of the chakras. And it has been about how we communicate and how we work together. But I've been feeling a big ego death. And last night, I made a commitment to really serve in this lifetime the healing and the growth and the maturity and the protection of the divine feminine. And as I did that today, I'm also realizing with that honoring of the divine feminine, of really protecting the planet, really protecting humanity and the connection that we have, the compassion, the love that the divine feminine teaches. We also can't leave the masculine energy behind, because the divine, not the egoic masculine, I'm not talking about this power hungry, greedy, suppressive, rapey energy. I'm talking about, well, not raping the planet.
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean?
And I think another thing we need to throw out there as we're talking about divine masculine and feminine is it doesn't necessarily mean men and women.
No.
Okay, you've met women who are very masculine, and you've met men who are very feminine. So it doesn't have anything to do with sex, like your physical sex. And especially in this day and age, we're dealing with a lot of transgender sexuality. There's a lot of people who are identifying one way or the other, or don't want to identify with either. And
I think that's
that
the
process,
balance. I think that's people really learning how to embrace both aspects.
Right, we're still dealing with this
in a very
dance.
physical way. And I think it's beautiful. And I think the reason why we're doing that is because we all know unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously that this is kind of where we have to go, is more. You don't even have to be androgynous to do this, but to find the nice harmony and balance in your very own life.
Yeah, and it starts with the self, because
Yeah.
you do know every person, whether you're overtly masculine or overtly feminine or somewhere in between, every person has both. You're going to have divine and masculine energy within your own system. And what we're trying to help you to do, we're trying to help ourselves to do, really, lead the way in this process, is to embrace both, to realize that you need both, and a balance of both would be ideal.
And so this week, as we went up to the chakras, we had these two cards. We had a breakthrough and success in reverse. And I really asked why. And Ryan came up with the answer. And the answer is because we really haven't trusted this masculine energy. And these are the cards for next week. We had fighting, we had change, and we had this rebel card. And the rebel card is the emperor, or the divine masculine. We're fighting this, we've fought vulnerability, but we also are fighting this empowered masculine within us, because we probably have a lot of trauma within us around this masculine energy. So for me, I had a really hard time with my father, and so did Ryan.
Yep.
So we have to go on our own and really define what the masculine in an empowered way is.
Right.
And so we might want to look at the relationship all the way down to that bad dad energy.
Well, let's just face it. The divine masculine and feminine that lives within us always goes back to our parents. I mean, this is Freudian. This is Carl Jung. This is, the foundations of humanity stems from the parents. And you have to go back and consider your relationship with your mother, consider your relationship with your father, if you're going to heal the divine masculine or the divine feminine. And Nikki's right. We both struggled. But it was funny, when we first got together and we started to get to know each other, we found out we both have fathers named Johnny, who are both drug addicts, who were both abusive. and were both not really good examples of being fathers. And so Nikki had to learn how to find a better masculine in her world, and I had to learn how to be a better masculine in my world. And I still struggle with that today. I've got 2 daughters who I'm constantly struggling with how to be a divine masculine figure. In other words, to create structure and boundaries and logic, but yet not be so harsh and overbearing and controlling. It's a very delicate balance, and it's not as easy as you think.
And with learning that together, we're finding our own way and really learning how to. This card is beautiful because it's like listen to our inner voice, listen to the ego represents spirit, and also guiding our own way through.
Totally.
Because if you look at what's going on in politics and going on in all the different things right now, we don't have a structure that we all feel really comfortable in. Whatever you believe in, whatever political party, nobody's happy right now. And the structure in itself, we are looking, we're having to search deep within us of what system will work now.
Yeah, and politics is a really good example where the divine masculine and divine feminine are having a struggle, because we saw in the last election that there was a very overt masculine figure that was really obviously pushed too far one direction, too masculine in my opinion. And then we have the female figure
who's also very masculine.
Also very masculine, yeah. And now Nikki and I are really excited about Marianne Williamson. Who knows where she's going to end up. But she's a woman, but she's also bringing in a feminine point of view. She's bringing in that divine feminine energy, which is so desperately needed within our own politics, because there is no balance.
We
there.
need
It's
that
all
voice
logic
of reason,
and argument and force and
no listening.
Yeah, nobody's listening, and she's at least bringing into the conversation the idea that we can listen to each other and we can learn from each other and we can love each other and not constantly be bickering and fighting and trying to control. I've been studying Plato's Republic. And one of the things they talk about in the Republic is the idea that philosophers should rule. Philosophers should be in charge, but philosophers will never be in charge. It's a conundrum, because what philosophers are into is things that are not
power.
Of this world. They're things of the idea of beauty and the idea of justice and the idea of divinity. And it's like they use the analogy of staring at the stars and trying to learn how to guide a ship by knowing where the stars are located and the sun and the movement of the wind. But they don't have any interest in running the boat, because they're worried about how to direct the boat. But the people who are running the boat, the sailors, they're the ones who are fighting for control of the rudder. They want to drive the ship, and they are fighting really hard to do so. But if they get control, they don't know how to drive the ship.
They don't know how to navigate.
So the problem we have, and this is just a perfect analogy for our politics today, is that we have a group of people who are more interested in winning the race.
Election.
They're winning the election, but they don't have any idea how to lead. And the people who do know how to lead have no interest in running an election. So we're in this paradox of not being able to find people who can lead, but also have the ability to be placed in there. And it goes way back to our founding fathers, and part of the reason why we don't allow a president to be there for more than 4 years.
8 years.
Well, it's 8 years if they get reelected, but the idea was we shouldn't want to be in power. The people who should be running shouldn't want the power. They should have their head in the clouds. They should be thinking of other things. We put them in power because we know that they're capable of it. But they themselves don't want to do it.
George Washington didn't want it.
George Washington created the precedent, not president, but precedent of a president only being able to be there for 8 years. It was never even a law.
Yeah.
He just said, this is a bad idea. I'm stepping down. They wanted to make him into a king. We just got out of having a king. And he said, no, this is what we fought against. I don't want to be your king. So he stepped down. He had no interest in ruling at all. People put him there against his will to become a leader because they knew he was the best suited for it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until FDR that we actually said, oh, we need to make this a rule, no longer than 8 years. And thank God for it, because if it wasn't the case, we would have some very power-hungry people who are just fighting for power. And that's not what that role is about.
And now we have to awaken into this this balanced energy of the masculine, this masculine energy who wants to have ruler, but we also need to open up to that feminine who has the heart, the connection, the understanding of perspective.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're working on. All of that. We're going to be really trying we're going to be trying to work on that this week. And I know for the last 7 weeks, Ryan and I have been we didn't realize this what we were working. We're having those aha now, being in the higher chakras of learning that balance. Wow. And man, has it been an internal struggle. Definitely. And I know how hard we're struggling with it. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that's going to heal overnight. It's going to take deep self-reflection. It takes deep self-reflection for all of us to really look and see where we are out of balance, where we're at war with two parts of ourself, and then how that is a reflection of what we're seeing externally in the world today. Is that right now we're at a place of something was way too far in power. We're trying to get something else, but can we, instead of doing this, can we do this? And can we come together in a place where we can find a little bit of harmony, perspective, respect? God, can we find respect? I mean, social media is filled with disrespect. Everybody wants to disrespect, and we're just being mean. Can we come to a place that is deeper, that is truer, that is more, that we can actually work together as a male and a female, as a masculine and feminine voice in ourselves and externally.
Aloha, Beth D'Angelo.
Hi. Yeah. And so can we come together and really learn how to heal the planet, heal our own humanity, heal what is going on, so we can do this as an internal job and start seeing the fruits of our labor out in the world. Whereas the humble in the Bible, right? The meek or the humble
shall inherit the earth, right?
But the meek not meaning like down and out. The meek meaning the humble ones, the ones that
quiet ones,
the ones that have connection to the humble voice within, right? Can come up, find our power, find our empowerment, and begin to be the voices of reason and the voices of coming together. So this week we're gonna finish our crown chakra. We're gonna have those breakthroughs.
Well, finishing our third eye chakra. Last week was our third eye chakra, and it was a humdinger. There was definitely a lot of fun stuff going on last week with our third eye energy. We're moving into the crown energy, and I can feel it. I can feel like this real clarity, and it's amazing. And I had not anticipated, because honestly, the last few weeks have been kind of drudgery for me, personally. Excuse me.
Throat.
Pulling through,
We've been killing on
working on some throat chakra stuff. But anyways, the point of Spirit Sunday has been for us to complete the energy of the previous week. And in other words, we like to talk about sliding down ladder. If you think about the chakras as a ladder, you're moving from the base all the way up to the crown, and then we go back down to the base again for Manifestation Monday. And so what we like to, the analogy I've been using for the last 7 weeks is climbing the ladder and then going down the slide. Whee! We even did a meditation where we were sliding. Whee! That was fun. But so what we're going to do is do a quick review of what we went through last week, and then we'll get into some of the subjects we've already touched upon.
Do you want to go down like that, or do you want to do it a different way?
Well, it's up to you.
We could maybe do it just a quick synopsis.
That's all. Yeah, just a real quick review for those of you who just follow us on Sunday and don't follow us throughout the week. I can't really see the board from here, so you're gonna have to.
So, what we worked on the third eye, and we were really clearing our vision. And in the beginning, we were getting a little bit more of those reverse cards, which was our resistance. So we were working on abundance and really trusting celebration. And the main thing what we started getting for the whole week was listening to our inner voice.
Yes, there was a lot of getting quiet and stop listening to all the other things, all the social media, all of the outlets that are constantly bombarding us with their own perspectives.
And as we were going in, we were starting to connect more to our own divine source. Right. So not even listening to us, but really tapping into your own source energy and learning how to guide yourself in that way.
Yeah, and the theme for the week was totality, right?
Becoming
which was
whole.
That if you remember the card of the trapeze artist, one trapeze artist is swinging to the next trapeze artist, and they are covering a great divide. And as they do so, there is a leap of faith involved. You're letting go of the old and moving into the new. And that was just perfect for what we were going through, about this idea of letting go of our old ways of doing things, our old process. We had to let go of how we did things, even in these videos.
Even beliefs and
yeah.
And we were moving out of this, what we thought we should do.
Right.
Like this compartmentalizing of things, or this is the way we need to be done. And like you said, we were doing it even here. We were changing up our formats a little bit. And we're really connecting to something that is bigger than us.
Yep.
And we started moving out of the resistance and letting go of clinging to the old ways and letting go of trying to control things and really getting into knowing that we were ripe, willing, ready to go with the flow. And now here we are, ready to go through our breakthroughs so we can really come into a place of maturity this week.
For me, it was a lot of this trusting that the work has been done. You don't need to keep working because you have done the work. Relax, it's all there. When Nikki and I were studying with Fran Montano at the Actors Workout Studio in Los Angeles, he would talk about how you prep for a role and you just prep and prep and prep and prep and prep. And then when you go on stage, you let it all go because you have to trust that the work that you needed to do
in your body
is there. And it's there and it's at your disposal, and you can't sit there and think about the work while you're doing the scene or while you're in that moment, because then you lose the moment. And the whole process of working with Fran was teaching us to be more in the moment. As a matter of fact, at our retreat, spoiler alert, we're going to be doing some of Fran's work there. And
we're going to be in the moment. So this week is moment to moment, even to the point where we didn't pull cards.
We did, but the cards told us no. Because they all came out in reverse again. We're like, what is going on here? So we just kept pulling to figure out what was going on.
And I pulled that moment to moment card. They were like, stay in the moment. Pull them when you do the video, because the future is not ours, you see. Que sera, right? So they were like, don't do it until you get there, because...
Is Spanish for what, Sarah?
Is it?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, well.
Que sera.
So we don't even know what we're going into this week, but we do know the theme, and the theme is this. We have a change. So we have this fighting card that we had last time, and we're going into a certain amount of change, and we're changing into this. Yes, this is the divine masculine energy, but it doesn't necessarily mean... I think it's the relationship we have with the masculine energy.
Look at brother's hair is made out of a rainbow. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I just noticed this. He's got rainbow hair.
Of course,
rainbow hair.
And so our masculine energy is maturing, which is also rainbowy.
Yep.
And this is actually a man as well, even though it looks feminine. In the book, it's a man.
So for me personally,
yeah,
these cards are a birth process. If you look at the fighting card versus the rebel card, they're both masculine cards, right? But one of them looks like he's in a shell or a cocoon. And this one looks like he's come out of the shell or cocoon and is now a butterfly. This is the analogy for me personally. It might be different for you. You can have your own experience. But for me personally, I feel like I'm finally coming out of my chrysalis stage of development where I'm protected, but I'm also guarded, and moving into this open and fluttering, flying, ready to go anywhere thing. This energy that is, that more balanced version of the divine masculine.
And so this week, as we go into this, let's set intentions to have that breakthrough of that healing around the divine masculine, to really heal maybe our relationship to our own fathers, maybe relationship to any male anchor or mirror.
Positive or negative.
So it might be a mentor or even a political figure that you still struggle with, or you have a lot of resentment or anger towards. And allow this to go into a place of healing and allow yourself to realize they're a mirror of something that is really irking you and that is really looking to birth a new relationship to that. And also to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. If we see a bad masculine figure, can we not throw every masculine out and realize that there's still good men and masculine energy.
Let's not just group all men into the same category just because you had a bad experience. It's not fair. We shouldn't do it to you. You shouldn't do it to us. Let's all try to be a little bit more aware that if we are having a reaction, especially to a stranger, you have to understand if you don't know somebody and you're having a reaction to them, that's not coming from them. It's coming from you. You don't even know that person.
Especially if you don't know, if you don't see their actions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, if it's a reaction to their actions, it's one thing. But the point being is there is a lot of projection involved when it comes to other people.
Oh, totally.
It's not
that's
all
just
projection.
Not masculine.
It's really
everybody.
easy for people to fall into that category. Oh no, you're projecting. It's like one of those spiritual things where they're like, sorry, you're projecting. We call it spiritual. I'm rubber, you're glue. It's not effective. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you have a reaction to somebody, pause. All right, don't react. Think, feel, drop in. Figure out where it's coming from, because it might not be coming from them.
Well, it might be triggered. I mean, I had a friend who started dating someone, and he reminded me so much of my father that I wouldn't even give him a chance. Because I was like, nope, I know that. He has a drug addiction, and I'm not giving him a chance because I know that energy so well. Funk.
But on the same regard, Nikki's father has gone through a great deal of healing.
Yeah.
With his addictions, with his...
He doesn't have an addiction anymore.
With his issues of how he deals with other people. He's gone through a massive amount of growth. And I know the man now. I don't know the man from then. So my perspective is a little different. And he's by no means a perfect person, but he has come a very long way. So I think, if nothing else, we can hold space for that divine masculine to grow into its true power, its balanced power.
And I also want you guys to know that as I healed my relationship to my father, and this is not why I did this work, but a really beautiful outcome that happened as I healed, is I saw him heal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so as we heal,
I watched it happen.
Yeah, as we heal as individuals and we heal those relationships.
At our wedding.
Yeah, it was at our wedding.
It was at our wedding. It definitely was.
And when we heal those relationship dynamics, they're woven.
Hi, Fran.
Oh, hi, Mom.
We just got done talking about your ex-husband.
So as and he was on last week.
Was he?
My dad was the first person on last week. Yep, he was.
Wow.
So so as we heal our dynamics and we heal and we forgive, and that's the big thing. The way I healed my father issues is I had radical, massive forgiveness, even to the point where my brain didn't understand it. I healed my subconscious brain.
Right there.
Yeah.
Forgiveness and acceptance.
And I forgave my dad, and I got to see miracles within that month. And I will talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about it after the bowl. But
yeah. Well, speaking of which, we should probably close the energy of last week. Yeah. We've been all over the place today, but that's part of where we're at right now. And just bear with us. This week we're not going to be as structured. We're going to allow things to kind of come up as they do and honor that part of the process. But we do want to honor a little bit of our structure, which is
the masculine.
Let the masculine come in and talk about structure. We got to finish last week before we move on to next week. Let's go ahead and close out last week. So as we get into our meditation, which as you know is us sliding down the ladder, essentially celebrating our previous week. Our previous week was about totality, that leap of faith, the wholeness, knowing. I think essentially what it really means to me personally is knowing that you've done the work and you're right where you need to be, and trusting that, okay? So let's just celebrate the fact that we made it through the week and we have really taken on that wholeness, that totality, and that we are going to spend the next week just kind of bathing in it and experiencing the clarity that we have fought so hard to achieve. So we're going to go into the ohms here, and I'm just going to do just good old-fashioned ohms. Whatever feels right for you based off the week that you've had, I want you to bring that into the meditation. I'm not going to give you any visualization today. I want you to just be completely clear with your own intention, your own perspective. Breathe with us, ohm with us, sit in silence, whatever works for you.
is done. It is done. It is done. It is done.
All right.
So, as I see it sometimes, the Divine Mother is the protector of the earth, of Gaia, of creation, and of birth, of physical birth. If you look at the difference between a man and a woman, men can't do everything a woman can, and we can't grow beards.
Or pee standing up.
Yeah, so there you go.
My personal favorite.
But we birth, and men can't birth. There's a reason. They plant a seed, but we actually are the physical creator. And we are this divine portal of life to this dimension. And that a man can't
do that.
No, they can't do that. And so
Don't want to either.
as we open up into that crown energy, we are bringing in that more cosmic or masculine energy, this divine consciousness, the one mind, right? So as we open up to this crown, we have to listen to the cosmic or the divine masculine wisdom that is here, so the women can be the portals of the new creation and really be the gatekeeper, if you will, of what should be created and what shouldn't be created.
Yeah, when you're working with the chakras, traditionally, I mean, it's my personal belief as well, that each chakra has its own divine and masculine side to it. But you could very easily argue that the lower chakras are masculine, the higher chakras are feminine, and that the two, masculine and feminine, meet right here in the middle at the heart chakra. And that is where the divine and masculine balance. That is where they fall in love. That is where they do the dance of Jariki and Turiki. And
that's yin and yang, by the way.
Yeah, yin and yang, sorry. And that's where they meet, right? And I think I talked about it a couple of days ago, this idea that you could also look at the chakras as that they spiral out from the middle. That this is the main chakra, right? Because sometimes people think of the root chakra as number 1 and the crown chakra as number 7, and you're working your way up. But you can just as easily work your way down or work from the middle out. You know, there's not a hard, fast rule on how to work with this energy. The point of all of it, though, is balance. To find your balance.
Balance in all 7.
Yeah.
And I think of the chakras as dimensions. If you look at it as the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, and 7th dimensions, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And so if you really think about it, we are in this 3rd dimension where we're learning what? We're learning self. That's why there's a lot of selfish energy. We're learning about the self.
The ego.
And we're the ego, and we're the only ones on this planet as human beings that have full access to the knowing of self in regards to self-awareness or self-realization.
Right.
And we all want to jump to all spiritual communities. We want 5th dimension, but what are we missing? If we're doing that, we're missing the 4th dimension, which is the balance or the harmony. So we want to connect to we're in the crown, but we want to balance in the heart chakra, because that's where we find the balance of these masculine and feminine energies, or Jariki, Tarik, or yin and yang, or good and evil, bad and wrong and right, and all these things.
Dark and light.
Because we need both. We need the light and the dark to contrast each other, but we need to live in harmony with both.
Yeah, there are scientists who talk about the Big Bang Theory and the creation of the universe. And initially, the universe was nothing but light. So imagine, if you will, you look up at the sky, and instead of seeing it at night, instead of seeing it black, it's just bright white. The sky is bright white. And what happened is, as the universe started to cool, there started to form dark matter and space. And so these beautiful stars that we love to look at, these beautiful nebulas and galaxies, they're all we can only see them because of the darkness. The darkness is the contrast that allows us to see these things. It's the same reason why during the day you cannot see the stars. It's because there's too much light. And so the contrast of the dark and the light creates the experience that we have here on the planet. We wouldn't be able to experience the planet the way that we do without both.
And be able to learn. So if we go deeper, learn. If we didn't have darkness, we wouldn't learn about the capacity of our own light and our own courage. It's both, and it's a harmonic dance and balance between. So this week, as we go into that crown chakra and we get into the wisdom, the higher wisdom, what I want us all to do, there's the gold bowl, which is also in the
halo.
Which I've actually, people have said they've seen that. So
Divine masculine halo.
So the gold bowl is actually in the frequency of F, which is the heart chakra. We all come in, but it's made out of 24 karat gold. So we have this high magic's in the air. So when we do this bowl, we're looking for the high heart, the high frequency of the heart, right? So the deeper, the compassion, the forgiveness, the healing, that in-depth part of our hearts. So as we get into the next week to come, let this heart energy rejuvenate you, energize you, so we can get into more harmony with our masculine energy and really begin to heal, rebirth, and have a better sense of trust, security, abundance in our life. And we'll see moment to moment what comes up this week.
So as we go into the energy of next week, if those of you who have been with us before, you know that we're going to do all 7 chakras. We're going to essentially harness the energy of all 7. We'll start with
this is really powerful, you guys.
I love this. Is my favorite of all the mantras I do. Although the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is a pretty good one. But this is essentially, we're going to do the sound or the tone of each individual chakra and bring them all in. We're bringing the energy in here. But as we do that, I want you to envision the divine masculine. If you have someone in your life who represents the divine masculine, when I say divine masculine, what I mean is the preferable archetype, what you think or feel a truly balanced masculine person should be. And again, if you have somebody in your life like that, congratulations. And you need to thank that person because they're very rare. So reach out to that person, let them know how important they are to you. If you don't have that person in your life, maybe look for somebody in society, in entertainment, or in politics, or in your growing up. It could be a teacher you had growing up, whatever it is. There's got to be somebody there. I really hope there's somebody that you can.
And you can go the opposite towards this too.
Or you can create somebody.
Yeah,
you can imagine what it would be like.
You
to be
can
a perfect
even
masculine
bring
figure.
in that divine. Because I'll be honest with you, the relationship I had with my father, when I was a child, I would have called him the villain, but I actually call him perfection now, because he was exactly who I needed to become me. And he was the contrast that I needed to become me.
Wow, Nick, your whole family's showing up. There's your Aunt Kathy.
I know, this is funny. So what I would like you to do, if you don't have the divine masculine energy that you prefer, connect to that one that you didn't prefer and ask for your own
Your
healing.
uncle's a pretty good example.
What?
Kathy's husband.
Oh, he is a great example of divine masculine
Yes,
energy.
he is.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh my God, everybody's coming in.
How about that?
So what I want you to do is, if you have somebody that you want to heal with, I want you to set the intention this week to heal with that masculine energy that you still have that you're still struggling with. So if you still struggle with your father or that bad masculine energy, or your brother, bring them in and not heal them, not set the intention to heal them.
That's not what it's about. You're not fixing anybody.
Set the intention to heal that dynamic within you.
And if anything, heal the relationship. Right?
Yes.
Figure out what your 2% is. And Nikki and I talk about this a lot, that even if somebody in your life who you have a relationship with, and it's a strained relationship, is 98% wrong, there's still at least 2% that you can own. And
the 2% might be you take them personally.
That could be it.
I mean,
could be as simple as that.
But honestly, I just want you to connect to that and set the intention for this week to heal that relationship to a strained relationship.
Trust me, guys, the divine masculine needs all the help it can get.
Yeah, my mom even said it. You have one. You have a divine masculine.
Yes.
All right, let's go into the bowl.
All right, let's do it, guys. So again, we're going to start from the root, work our way up. So if you can do it on one breath, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. Don't stress. But the sounds are At the root, we have, we'll use our visual aid, which I absolutely love, by the way. We have lam.
You're welcome.
Vam. Ram, or ram, if you can roll your R's. Yam, as in yummy. Ham.
Hum.
Sham.
Sham.
And then finally, Om. Okay, so lam.
We have incense. Somebody asked where the smoke
yes,
is
yes,
coming
that's
from.
our incense.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's just Nag Champa. It's just Nag Champa.
Yeah, we have incense underneath us.
So lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham, om. Here we go. Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham, 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 Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham,
Allow the divine masculine to come in and heal. Know that we don't have to be at odds with one another anymore. That there are really good masculine energies out there. And also, you can trust the divine masculine energy within. Allowing the feminine to grow, allowing the feminine to heal, allowing the feminine to have a voice, allowing the feminine to become empowered again in perfect harmony and in balance with each other, where we can listen, come up with solutions, and help each other instead of this old dynamic of fighting, suppressing, and resenting. Thank you for everyone for coming in and healing on their own. As we heal as individuals, we come together to heal as one. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
Hey, Dusty.
Our whole family's showing up.
Wow, what a family day here at the Golden Collective. This is exciting.
Yeah.
We've got all of our family on here with us today. It's so cool.
All right, everyone. That is
I
what.
don't even want to go. I want to stay here and hang out with the family.
Well, we're apparently we're doing all the things. We're connecting.
We
And
are
all
indeed. Oh, hey guys, if you want to get in on this workshop, we do have a few spots open. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be a lot of work. If you're on the fence, this is your last week to commit. So
yeah, we
send
gotta
us
shut
a
it
message
down.
and let us
we need
know.
to shut it down.
Yeah, let us know if you're interested. If you're not, we totally understand. We're going to be doing these workshops as often as we can. But if you want to learn more about what we do, you can join the Golden Collective website. You get to try your first week for free, see if you like it. And of course, continue to follow us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be posting our videos, although like we said before, this is the last week of the chakra videos. So if you enjoyed this, there will be more chakra videos to come, but we are going to take a week or two off for the retreat.
Yeah, and we might not come back exactly the way we did them before.
Who knows?
Yeah, Ryan might. I don't know.
We'll see.
We're gonna see at the workshop what we kind of come up with.
Yeah.
I
We'll
have
a really good idea once we get back.
Yeah, and I have some ideas that I want to start doing and birthing on my own.
You have ideas?
All the time.
Come on.
All right, everyone. That is your daily or your Spirit Sunday.
Yes.
And we will see you again tomorrow. Come and work on this healing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming in harmony, working as one. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Namaste.